when the front-facing camera opens on Snapchat.
Welcome back to Girless Productions. That's cute. Okay.
Alrighty. So, self-introductions. My name is Maddie. I'm 17. I'm a senior here at Edison High School. My potential majors are currently economics and political science, and I am currently enrolled in Stanford's class of 2023.
My name is Katya. I'm 17, also a senior, and my potential majors are public policy or Latin American studies. My top three schools at the moment are UC Santa Cruz, UC Merced, UC Berkeley, and Fresno State.
Well, my name is Raina. I'm also 17 and a senior, and my future major is early childhood education. And my top three schools are UC Irvine, Stanford, and University of San Francisco.
Alrighty, so to get us started, why did we start this podcast, this channel?
Basically, our beautiful, wonderful, amazing journalism teacher, Miss Leva, gave us the opportunity to do something different than just writing stories every week. So me and Maddie decided to do a podcast because it'd be fun, little differentiation from the norm. And we really ended up liking what we did. It was fun. So we decided to keep doing it. We were like, what if we just kept doing it forever and didn't stop? And we just decided to do that. And then our beautiful, amazing friend. She's so amazing. She's so beautiful.
I tagged along at the end. They created this at the beginning. I'm just kind of here.
We didn't really have anything though before. We only have one podcast. And
Yeah.
now she's here forever to stay with that like your girl.
I'm so happy. This is a wonderful space.
We like having you here.
I love being here. Okay, second question. What does being a feminist mean to you? So, in broad terms, I just kind of summed it up as the fight for equality, gender equality for everyone, making sure that that fight is inclusive and as intersectional as possible, making sure that we look at things like race, ethnicity, class, and all those different things that layer onto your gender. So yeah, that's something. That's my definition.
I would say that I pretty much agree with Katya wholeheartedly here, because what I kind of went with was lifting up communities that have been marginalized as a result of things like racism, misogyny, transphobia, homophobia, ableism, and a wide variety of other different isms that wind up intersecting with gender.
Yeah, definitely. Just this sums it up beautifully, perfectly. Just making sure that when you're fighting for something, you're as inclusive as possible. Because if you're not fighting for everything, then what's your deal? You can't call yourself a feminist if you're not fighting for the rights of everyone, including people who have different struggles than yours. Just because I'm a girl, I'm a feminist, doesn't mean I'm not gonna fight for Latino or Hispanic rights. You can't be a feminist and then only fight for one thing. That's not.
Yeah. And so then our next question is, what is the hardest thing that we have had to overcome in high school?
I would say that the hardest thing I've had to overcome personally is learning how to be myself without worrying about what other people are gonna think of me. Because I'd always try to change myself or change what I did or how I looked and stuff because I thought other people would think of me differently, and I had to really learn how to stop doing that. And I'm still trying to learn that, but it's worked a little bit.
For me, one of the things that I thought was the hardest about high school was coming to terms with the realization that, I do want to go to college, I want to graduate on time and do all of these things, but being first generation was a struggle because I was I don't know who to ask for help or how to even pass my classes because everything is hard. And just having such a difficult workload, and then on top of that being involved in clubs and extracurriculars, and knowing how to balance that and not having anyone to go to for support sometimes was hard. But eventually I persevered, and so it really did pay off in the end because I got to balance out all of these things, and it was really nice.
Yeah. And for myself, I think that probably the hardest things that I had to overcome in high school, mostly time management in terms of balancing taking a rigorous course load to get me where I want to go, and along with a wide variety of extracurriculars, most notably academic decathlon and the LGBTQ activism that I do quite a bit of. and being able to balance all of those different things so that I'm not overstretching myself pretty much, and so I don't get burned out in any one activity because I'm just too busy with so many other things that I get tired and want to quit everything all at once, because that's not fun.
Okay, so our next question is, what animal would you be and why?
I said for this one, I didn't put like a ton of thought into it, but like I said I would be an elephant because I think they're really nice. And I read a whole book once about like how this girl had like an obsession with like elephants because they helped her like overcome her anxiety. And I was like, that's a wonderful concept. And so that just kind of stuck with me. And they're also like just beautiful, beautiful creatures in my opinion. And they're just nice.
Yeah, I went with the sea otter just because sea otters are great. They're chilling in the ocean, doing their thing, and I strive to be the level of relaxed and gliding through the water as the sea otter.
Yeah.
Because it just sounds nice, and they're also cute, so that does factor
Just
into
a
it.
plus.
Yeah.
I said I'd be a puppy because they're just out there doing their things. No worries, like not worrying about anything, just carefree and happy, and that's all I want in my life. I just want to be carefree, no worries, just out there.
Valid. Okay, so our next question is, when you were little, who was your favorite superhero and why?
Well, I had a very hard time picking a single superhero just because I was a very big Marvel kid growing up. My dad is really into comic books, and so are his friends. And so I had a wide variety of interests, but for this particular question, I'm going to go with Spider-Man. Just because Spider-Man is awesome, Spider-Man does academic decathlon, Spider-Man is a #relatable teen. Spider-Man is a #relatable teen, and so for me, I felt like Spider-Man was a character that I could personally connect with on a lot of levels, and as such, was a character that I really came to like.
Can I just add, I am so excited for the new Into the Spider-Verse movie. Like, I cannot wait to go see that. Oh my god.
I said I was between Spider-Man and Captain America, mostly because those are the two like superheroes that I grew up knowing. Like I'm not a big like Marvel person or anything. Nothing against it. I just was not into that whole like fandom. So those were like the two that I knew. And Chris Evans, very attractive. Love looking at him. Captain America's great. And yeah, Spider-Man was like actually like pretty relatable. Like a nice fella. Like just the superheroes are so nice. Those were the only ones that I knew. So those were obviously my top two.
Yeah, I chose Captain America because he's amazing. Like Chris Evans, oof, the Captain America. he's the best superhero like ever. Like he's awesome. And then also Winter Soldier because, duh, like why wouldn't I want Bucky Barnes? Like, okay. But yeah, those are my two favorites. And like Katia said, like those are like the only ones I really knew of. Like going into like all the Marvel movies, those were only two I knew. So I just kind of like imprinted and never left. So yeah.
Valid. And so next up, are you a morning or a night person? Let's cut that.
That'll be a blooper, just staring at the door.
All right. So our next question: are you a morning or a night person?
I am definitely a middle of the day person. I don't like getting up early, and I cannot stay up late. Like if any sleepover I've ever gone to, I'm always the first person to fall asleep, like without a doubt. So I can't stay up late, but I don't like getting up early. So from 10 to 4, that's my time. That's the only time I can like function in, and that's it. Like middle of the day.
Yeah, my answer was very similar. I said just like an evening person. Like when I'm at school, I feel like because we're just like, I just have that like embedded in me, like wake up super early, but I can't function until like a certain time. And then I also can't stay up too late like doing homework because at some point I just like give up. Like I'm weak. My body can't take it. Like I can't pull all-nighters. I just kind of like fail at that point. I'm like, if it's not done by now, then it's not happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, like in the middle of the day is when I peak because that's when I'm used to having like schoolwork and clubs and like having to multitask and do all these things before I get home. So that's when it is for me.
Yeah, I have to agree with both Katia and Reina. Like, I am not a morning or a night person. I can wake up early if necessary. I can stay up late if necessary, but I would prefer to have to do neither of those things. That's ideal. I am very much a middle of the day person. Like, 11 a.m. Like 11 a.m. to noon is typically my peak functioning hours, I would say, just because that's fourth period, and fourth period is when I always feel the most awake. And so, yeah, it'd be like that middle of the day person.
I love that the question is structured like pick one or the other, and all of us were like,
Yeah.
no,
I can't do that. That's
Neither one of those
impossible.
work. Yeah, the next question that we have is what is your favorite hobby?
I said that my favorite hobby is reading and not doing my homework. Like if you know me, you know I'm like the biggest procrastinator in the. Oh God, I need to stop. I'm a really big procrastinator, so I don't know what is wrong with me. I just can't do it. And also really love to read. I've been reading since I could read, and like whenever somebody gives me a book, like it's done in like an hour or two. Like I remember like one Christmas, my mom got me like Divergent, another book, and I finished like 2 of them like 4 or 5 o'clock. And that's just how it is. Like I read, so that's my superpower. I read.
I love that for you. That's so nice. I said that my hobbies are doing yoga, doodling in my planner, which is a big one, because I like to create the illusion that I'm like organized and that I have it together, but it's really just like lists of things that I need to do, but I'm not actively doing. Like it's just piling up, and I'm just like, maybe if I make it look pretty, I'll do it eventually.
Throw a little
But-
glitter on there.
Yeah. So I like doing that, and then I feel like anytime that I'm not busy doing something, because all the things that I do, like any extracurriculars are like fun to me, so that's like my like free time. But anytime I'm not doing that, I'm just like I just want to sleep. I'm just like, can I just lay down and like not think about anything for a second? So yeah, yoga and sleeping.
That's a big mood. I also consider yoga to be one of my favorite hobbies, just because our wonderful teacher, Miss Miller, introduced it to us back during sophomore year, and I've just had a fantastic time participating in yoga. It's something that I find to be extremely stress relieving and very relaxing, and also a good way that lets me connect with my friends in a way that's outside of class, even though we're still in a school environment because we do yoga in our room after school. I also enjoy writing and reading. As I said before, I'm in academic decathlon. It's a lot of reading, so it's good that I enjoy it, because if I didn't, then room 18 would be my personal hell. But it be like that. So yeah, yoga, writing, and reading are my top 3 hobbies. Alrighty, so our next question is. So our next question is, if you were a wrestler, what would your entrance song be?
Oh, I said that mine would be Dancing Queen by ABBA, because I feel like it really like speaks to who I am. I'm 17, I'm a dancing queen, young and sweet, you know? It feels like I could just picture like when like the song comes on, Dancing Queen,
Yeah.
and then you're just like standing there and like the wind's blowing and your cape is flowing, and it's just, that's my song. So, next.
Now that I think about mine, I picked "I'm Coming Out" by Diana Ross, and now that I like envision it in like the scenario of me as like some kind of like macho wrestler like coming after that song, it's a little underwhelming. But I just thought the
That's a good
lyrics,
song.
I
That's a
thought
good
the lyrics
song.
of the song were fitting for it. So
Yeah. I personally went with Emperor's New Clothes by Panic at the Disco. Because I used to be a complete emo garbage, and also it's a hype song. It's a song that makes me feel very self-confident, like I can conquer whatever I need to do. And so, if I was having to go out there and wrestle somebody, which, fun fact, I have the upper body strength of a baby bird. So, yeah, I need a hype song to get the adrenaline flowing so that I would not get destroyed within 5 seconds.
Okay, and our last question is, what fictional family would you be a member of?
I said the Duncan family from Good Luck Charlie, because they were like a really wholesome bunch in my opinion. Like they were really nice. They were something. The show was something I could watch with like my family and have a nice time. They had a nice house. Teddy was a wonderful older sister. She made like whole videos for her sister, and I was like, that's a really nice concept. Like if I could belong to a family, I'd want it to be, something
If I
like
could
that.
belong to a
I'm so sorry. I mean, if I were to choose a fictional family to be a part of, it would be.
If I could belong to a family. Okay. because first of all, Morticia's hot, and that's not up for debate, but also I appreciated their family dynamic. Like I watched the Addams Family movies a while ago. It's been probably 5 years, and it was 2 a.m. at a sleepover, so not my peak hours, but I enjoyed the family dynamic a lot, and I feel like that would be a quality environment for me to be in, because I am a little bit chaotic, and I feel like I'd fit there well.
Yeah, like I also trust the Addams Family, and I just like they take you in like no matter what. Like I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. I'm weird. You see me wearing the shirt. It's weird. Okay, I never take it off. Riverdale. Okay, sorry, but Riverdale really needs to like step it up. Their writers. Oh my god. But yeah, no matter like how weird you are, they would take you in and like you'd be like a part of their family. Like no matter what. Like so that's it. That's my chest.
Alrighty. Well, that marks the end of our Q&A. So we hope that you enjoyed this and getting a chance to know us a little bit better. If you would like to see us answer more of your questions, you can comment questions down below. You can leave them on our Twitter page. You can leave them on our Instagram, like basically any of our social medias, essentially.
Yeah.
If you aren't already, please follow our Twitter, Instagram, and all of our social media handles at Girl S Productions.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys for watching.
Subscribe.